I would often go there, to the tiny church there, the smallest church in San, though it once was larger. How the realm may rest there, down through the mist there, toward the Seven Sisters, toward those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there, in their tiny yard there. I have been so glad here, looking forward to the past here. But now, you are all alone. None of this matters. No, none of this matters at all.
Hello everybody, my name is Notepad and on and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, today we're going to be working more on Theomachy, a game about being demigods. Now, yeah, I did some work, did a little bit of work leading into this. That's why this stream has been delayed as much as it has. The main thing I did was this. Yes, I did all of the armaments effectively. For lack of a better word, the armaments are like your overclass, you can kind of say. So kind of like you have like your idea of like pretty much your armament is going to inform what your what's your domain, that's what I end up calling them. Your armament's going to inform how your domain is actually going to be looking. So for example, you kind of see here for the power strike, for example, it's the idea that as the sword, your soul is decorated with the power of the sword, and you are for slaying mighty adversaries and forward momentum. You're always pushing forward, and you have things such as you add your hero die to any damage they deal to their foes. That is an ability you have to use. This is an action. You can use one of these actions. It's like, oh, okay, cool. But then it's like, yeah, I can able to move half their hero die in additional zones. They add any excess to their melee attack rolls, or they can choose to clash if they want to do something defensive. You always have access to these, and the idea with it is that your domains is going to give you a handful of keywords to augment these. Taking on the domain of, say, your fire, for example, you're going to have the ability to have firepower strikes, be able to charge with, with the ability to have, light shit on fire. That's kind of the idea. The big thing what I did with these is give everybody an offense, a kind of a utility, and a defensive one. I don't know if that was really the correct option. You kind of see down here, aim true, pinpoint, leap away. Aim true is kind of like for your basic attack, you can add a third attribute die. So if you're using a large weapon, instead of using prowess and strength, what you can do is use, 2 body, 1 prowess, or 2 prowess, 1 body. That's kind of the idea there. The one that this is very preliminary. I really have to kind of, when I start seeing things later on, once I kind of get the idea of how I want combat to work, I can double back here. I have the idea, everything is there, it's just writing it all down more than anything. The only one that was kind of a complicated one was the shield, because the entire idea of the shield is that you are, you're determined, you have that strong resolve. It's the I'll never give up, even in the face of absolution. I didn't really know what to give them for offense, because their entire thing is that they're more defensive. They want to protect their allies. They want to help others. And they're the ones who I won't give up or anything like that. So I didn't really know what to give them for like an offensive ability. I'm like, this isn't quite what I'm thinking of. This isn't really what's vibing. The wand was pretty easy, which was you just have like, this is just your thing that you can do. For an action, you can use a blast attack. And it's like, oh, well, this doesn't seem impressive until he's like, oh, I have the domain of death, therefore I can blast people with death magic. Or, hey, I have the domain of fire, I can use fire to blast somebody away. That's kind of the idea there. Which kind of go, so those are only the 4, and you might be like, wow, that doesn't really mean much, but it's less like, I just realized this setting based on classical mythology with demigods, a phrase you motherfucker could be a compliment. Depends on the situation. But yeah, that's kind of the idea here. Is it flawless? Not really. Pretty much what I wanted to do, what I wanted to avoid is writing 800 fucking powers. Because I don't feel like writing 800 powers for a bunch of different domains is going to be the right way of doing this. Because there's only so many ways that you can write blast attack into something before it becomes repetitive. Oh, hey, what does this do? Fireball. Oh, what does this do? Earth ball. What does this do? Death ball. It's just going to keep being the same thing over and over again. Are there mechanics for accidentally fucking your own dad mom? You're making it weird, Tough T. No. Jesus. Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, I'm a little bit lost on how to make the shield more interesting. I know what they're supposed to do, but doing it's a lot I know what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be guardians, they're supposed to be more defensive, they're supposed to be more, I can take a fucking hit on the face and mitigate damage. The entire idea is I don't quite know what to do with them outside of kind of like manipulating how things are supposed to look, but I don't know how to do that yet. Because I don't have that ready effectively. Okay, let's get going. We all know what goes on. I'm not saying I want it. Shield gets a counter maybe. Fun fact, the sword gets the counter. Effectively, it's how I have it so far is the sword is all about going aggro. They're the ones with the basic power strike. It's the kind of the ability they will be doing every time they attack. But remember, they can say, oh, I want to power strike with the domain of fire and light somebody on fire. I want to power strike with the domain of death and hurt somebody pretty badly. It's giving them, like, it's limiting the number of pure options they have, but it's also like, here, what you can do. You know, they can charge and get some bonus damage in there. They can also use Clash, which is instead of trying to dodge it, instead of trying to block it, they're just going to try to fight you. That's their entire thing. They're like, okay, you're attacking me, I'm going to attack you right back. That's kind of the idea with them. Bows, their defensive idea is they can evade as many times as they want per round. And they can actually move to a new zone when they are evading. So when you're being attacked, it's like, okay, I'm going to move to a different area. So you can actually like get away from a fight pretty easily as someone with the bow, because that's your entire thing. You're very agile. You're an agile hero. You're over anything else. While the shield is, they end up with unshakable, which their entire idea is, hey, you double the value of your hero die when using the block defensive action. So if you roll a 5, you roll a 3, you have a 6 on there, which makes it you defending very powerful. The issue being is you can also take attacks aimed at their allies if they're within range. So it's like you need to be the person kind of rushing in there defending each other, because that's your job. You may not be the most offensively minded person in the world, but you are there to pretty much take a hit. Which, where the wand, on the other hand, I don't quite know how I want to do it, which is the idea of like you have a barrier, which is more along, it's more like a support ability. It's like, yeah, they get an extra hero die when defending themselves by virtue of you doing this. Hence why you get things like Cloak of Aether, which actually bumps up their hero die by 1 step, which is fairly powerful, which it goes from, oh, I'm just rolling a d4 to I'm rolling a d6, maybe a d8, and I can just do more with it. I can make my hero... The entire idea of the wand is that you're taking your hero die and it's spreading it farther out. Like, how far can I, can I use this? Shield counter range, range counter spear, spear counter sword, sword counter spear. It's, I don't, like, the thing is, this is one of the bigger things, is I don't necessarily want them to have, like, the idea, like, you have to have a sword, you have to have a bow, you have to have a shield, you have to have a wand. It's more of a metaphorical thing. By virtue of having the wand, in your soul, you are someone who's a little bit more thoughtful about things. You're trying to understand others, you're trying to learn from your enemies, and you're trying to manipulate your Aether. You could be a guy with a fucking shotgun, kicking down the front door, being like, hippity hoppity, I'm here to, get, you should get the fuck off my dad's property. And then moving on to, but you can still be aggressive. That doesn't mean you can't fight in melee. If you want to have a fucking weapon with as of the wand, that's perfectly fine. Your powers aren't necessarily going to be perfectly suited for it versus somebody like the sword, who may go in there with a fucking handgun and just pistol whip bitches. Like, hey, have no fear. They're putting you down a very certain category, but it isn't necessarily like a mandatory thing. Hence why I'm a little bit, I'm not 100% on all these powers yet. That's why I'm going to kind of wait on it. I want to see how combat kind of evolves and then go back and double check everything. I have some of the basic ideas. It's, again, I have those basic ideas in my head of how combat's supposed to look, but how combat is supposed to look and how combat will play out is very different. I just needed something here more than anything to be like, okay, what am I actually looking for? But let's work on that. So, demigod heroes are given their power through their connection to a patron. Heroes are given their power through the connection to a patron, whether this is purely by blood or more sophisticated methods. The primary two ways of gaining power are through the blood of God, the blood of gods, or having one. Actually, no. The primary way, regardless of the method, the primary way is the blood of the gods. Regardless of the method, the primary way is the blood of the gods. Allowing hero to achieve their semi divine status. Sammys achieve their semi divine status. Heroes. Actually, a hero whose parent. A hero who is born of a god. Hero is born of a god will have their patron be their divine parent. Have their patron be their divine parent. While those empowered will have their patron be the blood they sipped. While those empowered will have their patron be the blood they sipped. Each patron will have each patron is divided into actually it'd be into three categories. Each patron is divided into three categories: minor, major, and chief. These reflect the number of domains they cover. These reflect the number of domains they cover, allowing. These reflect the number of domains they cover. With the more powerful entities able to command more influence through in the world. Minor deities only have two domains. Major ones have three, and finally a chief deity. The chief deity has a total of 5. Finally, a chief deity has a total of 5. While it may the hero may choose at first any of their patrons' domains as their domain. Hero may choose at first any of their patrons' domain as their primary domain, granting them its power immediately. However, is there just a way to be a regular guy who becomes a badass? No. Well, you can impress a god, and then if you impress a god, they're going to have you sip their blood. That's the entire idea. That's how you become empowered. It's like, yeah, I think you're pretty cool. You can become a semi-divine by virtue of sipping my blood. How do I doom guy? Not really. That's kind of the thing. It's harder to be like just strictly doom guy. In that case, it would be, well, at that one, if we're going off Doom 2016 lore, then you'd be going with you'd effectively become empowered by whatever the fuck the fucking keepers. I don't remember the lore. Who the fuck cares about Doom lore? I know I don't. What were they called? Like Celestials or something? I don't remember. Doom lore. It's funny to think about. If I sip God's juice, do I have to obey them? Not really. The thing is, the best way to kind of think about it is you have a little bit of this. You get a little bit of their power. You're kind of free to do whatever the hell you feel like. Now, obviously, the issue being like, hey, your dad or your patron is usually going to be a hell of a lot stronger than you in just about every capacity. So pissing them off by not doing what they want can probably end up making your life a little bit more miserable. But it's like, hey, yeah, my dad is Zeus. I don't really think Zeus is really going to give a shit about you. He's just like, oh, wow, look at him. Everybody point and laugh at the funny man. He thinks he's a real person. And Zeus looks at you, Zeus looks at you with complete confusion, being like, who the fuck are you? Oh, you're one of my kids. Sign up. Like, do you have the proper Like, do you have the proper, like, paperwork to actually visit me? I will not pay child support. Like, that's kind of like I'm going to put a side note about, like, kind of like minor deities, which is like, why would I ever want to be part of a minor deity then? You know, they just get less options. You know, kind of the benefit of the minor deity is you're going to be closer to them, like, this by default. They're not nearly as, like, prolific. They don't have 100 kids like Zeus does. Zeus has legitimately hundreds of kids. Odin has a bunch of different children. Kind of the chief gods have a lot more children, and generally people they've empowered because they don't really give a shit. You know, to them you're an asset. If you're a minor god, you know, if it's like, oh hey, I am they actually give a shit about you a little bit more. They're like, hey, you are my child, or hey, I have empowered you, you are my champion. We are in this together, ride or fucking die. I can give you superpowers and you can kind of act in your own way. I, however, cannot. Please don't fuck up. Please, I am begging you. Do not fuck up. Yeah, it's kind of like, I just want to fight for glory and honor. I mean, like, yeah, your dad's fucking Ares. Like, yeah, okay, what do we do? Oh no, my dad's Ares. He doesn't give a shit about you. Yeah, like, oh wow, yeah, it's just like, oh my goodness, dad, you're super cool. And he's looking at you like, oh fuck, who are you? Who are you? I don't know. Or it's like, oh hey, my dad's fucking Sobek. That's cool. Everybody hates me. Awesome. Cool. I love being hated because my dad's a dick. Let's see. Chief deity hero may choose at first any other patron's domains of the primary domain, granting them its power immediately. No sticky keys. I never want to do sticky keys. No, not a single human being alive has ever wanted sticky keys. Okay, I'm gonna do, maybe we do something like this. We do, God category domains. We insert a row above, and then we start looking at some, like, just very basic. This is not a complete list. I'm probably have to put that out. So if we do, let's just do like Greek, you know, the Greek pantheon, So if we're looking at this, how I be hitting with that, how they be hitting me with that dollar store divinity. So let's take Greek gods. Just give me all the Greek gods. We'll just get like the basics. Let's just get the basics, everybody. Let's go to Wikipedia. All right, let's go to Wikipedia. What are the main gods? What's the main Greek pantheon? 12 Olympians. Here we go. The 12 Olympians. We got Zeus. He's going to be the chief deity. Hera. She's going to be a chief deity. Poseidon. He's a chief deity. Actually, no, she would be a major deity. Poseidon, Don't really need Demeter. Athena. Athena, she's a major. We all like Apollo. He's a major. Artemis, major. Ares, obviously he's major. Aphrodite, I guess she would be considered minor. Hephaestus, minor. Hermes, minor. There we go. These are my my top 10. I mean, let's do Zeus, Poseidon, Hades. Let's like right off the back. These are going to be our main chiefs. Chief Keef, even, as you might say. We'll then bring in Ares. Everybody likes Ares. Ares is cool, right? Ares is cool and hip. Artemis. We can do Artemis. She's main. Let's see. We want Hephaestus. Hephaestus is cool. He's not a major god, but he's cool. We like Hephaestus. Apollo. I like Apollo. He's a major god. Hermes. We all like Hermes. He's minor. I feel like I'm missing one. Let's see, do we want to bring in like Aphrodite? I guess we can bring Aphrodite and see what she does. So we have our basic Greek pantheon. Alright. Interestingly enough, easy enough to understand. I'm your son. Do you realize how slightly that whittles it down? Okay, so Zeus. What's Zeus's main authority? Let's think. There's Zeus. What is your main thing? What's your thing? Tell me more about. Okay, so you are sky, lightning, thunder, law, and order. That's your thing. Those are your things. Oh. Okay, so let's break this down. We could do how about air? Okay, air is easy enough. Lightning, air, lightning. Law. I guess we can bring in authority if we want. Actually, you know what we can do? We can bring in authority. Law. Not law. Do we have anything fun else? King of the Gods. Thunder, Sky and Thunder God. Cognates. So what would be some other things that you can... Even things that aren't impressive. That's the beautiful thing. You don't need to be impressive. You just need to be decent. I guess we can do animals. Actually, no, primal. Let's think. Domains. Then Poseidon would have obviously water, authority, primal. Because your brother. Tell me about your brother. And Yorkle. Tell me more about King of the Gods. 12 Olympians. Tell me more about Poseidon. Okay, so storms. Storm, water, authority, storms, primal, and earth. I'm just kind of writing things down, what sounds appropriate. So, obviously, death. We all love Hades. Alright, everybody, let's go to Hades. What's your thing? Dead and riches. Awesome. Authority. I'm treating the idea like authority being kind of like a special thing. It's like, yeah, by virtue of being one of these gods, you have authority, which people are just like, oh, I'm horrified by you. Like, you're genuinely scary, and I don't want to fuck with you. Hades. What are your thing? Eldest son. Defeat his generation of gods, Titan, claim rulership of the cosmos, receive the underworld, Zeus the sky. We had a god of Cerberus. If anything, I can cut down the domains to like 3, 2, 1. That might be a better idea, honestly. Actually, minor deities have 2 domains, major have 3, and finally, 2, 3. If we do 4, we do a total of 4. We do that, we can do and primal. Water authority, death authority, life ends, and us. What's a good one? See, because it's air, water, earth. Technically, you can make an argument for fire. Ares. Ares, his big thing is war, obviously. That's his, like, one thing that he does a lot. It's war, everybody. It's war o'clock. What else do you got for me to work with? Fuck. All is a thing for him. He's really certified outside the Disney movie. True. I guess we could do, like, if we do wealth, because you're like, the thing is, I have to convert all of these domains into different tags. That's why I'm trying to be like, okay, like what's really kind of fitting here. I guess we can, for Ares, we can associate with death, because obviously he's, you know, a war god. I think death has a little bit of influence on him, just kind of by associate, a little bit by association more than anything. I guess we can do something like blood. Actually, no. Because I want to keep these fairly broad. That's kind of the idea. Or death fear. Yeah, okay, that works. Artemis, on the other hand, Artemis is going to be Artemis, goddess of the hunt. So she is... Okay. She's a little bit easier, because what we can do is primal. That's her thing, because you see a lot of animals here. The hunt, young women, and archery, and virginity, and nature, and being the moon. goddess of the hunt, we can kind of associate the hunt with more with animals, so primal works a little bit there. Trust me, this is going to get just harder, by the way. This will just get harder and harder and harder every second we do this. Actually, if we do Diana, if we have anything with Diana, do we have anything that we can work with you? Do you have anything? Do we have anything that we can work with you at all? Anything that we can really Diana, Luna, just I guess we can put in the moon somewhere. I mean, primal. Ah, Jesus. Ah, fucking gods and their stupid fucking domains and their stupid. Oh, what am I the god of? I'm the god of fucking everything. Oh my god, what are you? I'm the god of, like, fucking fruit. I'm like, oh god. Oh god, no, please. Ah, Jesus. Okay. Guess the moon and magic would work. Moon and magic works, because we're gonna see a lot of moon here. Hephaestus, fuck, actually, we can do fire, earth, and, fuck. What do you have? What do you have, Hephaestus? Actually, no, we just need one. We just need two things. Fire and earth. There we go. That's easy enough to understand for Hephaestus. That's his thing. That's what he does. Apollo, on the other hand. Apollo. Hello, Apollo. You are easy enough to understand. So you... If we understand this, so you are healing, sun, solar, actually healing, solar, and knowledge. Knowledge. Yeah. Healing, solar, and knowledge. If we do healing, solar, and knowledge, you kind of have your own thing, which leads to Hermes. Hello, Hermes. What are you doing? Travelers, athletes, commerce. Guess we have wealth. Wealth and Hermes. What are you doing, Hermes? Psychopomps. Just high. It's soul guide, a conductor of soul. Actually, we can do wealth and death and wealth for you pretty easily. Because you're kind of you're the guide of souls, therefore you kind of have a weird connection with that Aphrodite. There's Aphrodite. You're going to have Aphrodite. You're going to have fucking nothing. You're away, Aphrodite. I don't need. Go away, Aphrodite. I don't need you anymore. There we go. Easy enough to understand. Probably best, but we're working. Oh god. We'll use... Yeah, I guess we would have to use Aphrodite as that. I mean, if we use Aphrodite, if we put her as a minor, we can do war and put Athena in? No, I didn't put fucking Athena in because I'm a stupid fuck. God, I hate the Greeks. I hate the Greeks. We put Aphrodite in. Hmm. Actually, if we want to be persnickety about it, we can give her authority because she has many people who love her and all that jazz. We can do that, and then we move to Athena, goddess of wisdom and war. So you're gonna be pretty easy to do. You would just be war, life, and you're kind of opposed to Ares in that regard. You would be wisdom. I guess we can actually put we can put magic in with her. If we put magic in with her, because the entire idea is that she is, she has wisdom and handicraft, so we can do something like that. So this would just be a very basic understanding of it. What the notepad doing? Agony. I gotta do some fucking gods, and just doing example gods more than anything. Because it's important. Now, this is where we get to have some funny, we get to have some funny bits, everybody. Athena, you mean Minerva. Hades is going to become Pluto. Actually, we need to do a double check. Pluto, ruler of the Greek underworld. Not as important. Roman. Wealthy one. Pluto is god of morality and riches. Hades, god of death in the underworld. Brother of gods. Minerva keeps her position. You would be, I'm looking at everything here as fast as possible. It would be Jupiter and Neptune. By Neptune, major. Then you're going to lose your authority tag as well because you suck, Hermes. Hermes would become Mercury. Aphrodite would become Venus. Aphrodite became Venus. Okay, let me just double check. Because again, you gotta remember, it was mandated. It was mandated that I do this. Vulcan. We do this. Hmm. Some people got promoted up, some people not get promoted up, some people out on a lot of things because they suck. Let's see. Jupiter, Air Lightning Authority, Primal, Neptune remains the same, Mercury remains the same, Vulcan remains the same, Pluto, Minerva, Artemis. Artemis! I have something for you to do, Miss Artemis. Miss Artemis, you become Diana. Diana. Aries became Mars. You're getting promoted up to a chief with war, death, fear, and authority because Mars was incredibly important to the Romans. Apollo. Check Apollo real fast. Apollo, you were... Apollo got mixed up with people, apparently. Did he even get a Roman equivalent? No, Apollo just kept his fucking name. Like, that's the best part. Apollo just kept his name. Let's just do a quick check on Rome. God of Light. We do a quick double check. Latin soul. Fought repeatedly. The Roman Apollo has adopted the full name. The full name of, let's double check, would be the full name of Phoebus Apollo. Railway. Sorry if I'm not responding to anything right now. This is called being in the zone. Phoebus. Let's adopt the full. Venus. There we go. Because you gotta remember, it was very, very precise that. It became very precise that the Romans had to be different. Apollo became Sol and he devoured Hermes, and yeah, yeah, that's the beautiful thing. Yeah, Apollo fucking hates the other Apollo because again, it's very precise that they have to be different, so they are technically different. These ones have pretty extensive ones, but luckily we can then go down here. We want to do we'll do the Egyptian pantheon. Egyptian pantheon, everybody. This cannot go wrong at all. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun and exciting. There can't be that many Egyptian god. Okay, there can't be that many Egyptian gods. Fuck. Main ones. Give me the main gods. I just need the main ones. Alright, I can work with this. Osiris. Okay, Osiris is easy. We understand how Osiris works. Isis. Maybe let's not do Isis. Horus. Okay, we all know Horus. Seth. Easy to understand. Ptah. Alright, easy enough to understand. technically Re, that should be Ra or Re. It can be a few different things. Anubis. Actually, no, not Anubis. I guess we could do Thoth. Thoth. Bastet. And that would, we are missing, what are we missing? We are missing, no, it would be Horus. Horus is the divine kingship. What I'm thinking of, and then Anubis is who I'm thinking of. There we go. Cool, the Egyptians. We do this bunk. Damn it. Osiris, Horus, Seth. Osiris, Horus, Seth, Thoth. Ptah, Ra. We're gonna do Ra because everyone fucking knows Ra. Bastet, actually. Anubis, and because I find it funny to do this. We can chaos and wealth. All right, let's do this. Let's, as they say in the hood, start gaming. So we need to talk. Hello, Anubis. What are you doing? God of the Dead. All right. So what are we doing? So God of the Dead. You're going to be Death. And let's see, funerary right, protector of graves. Horus, authority. Oh, hello. There's a lot of people talking all of a sudden. You can do Isis with her other name. Nah. There's only 3 winged dragon of Ra, lost tormentor for the executive producer. Q Prince of Egypt play the background with the big boys now. Ra is not Mega Ultra Chicken. Like the gods are just called Seth. Seth is some random dude's name. I think it was originally Set. Yeah. Why is Ra lower than Ptah? I also have a friend named Seth because of because of alphabetizing. So Ptah's back up here. Osiris, death, authority. Death, authority, knowledge, and magic. Ptah. We like Ptah. Ptah has... A lot of them have knowledge. It's knowledge. You don't understand. Ra is solar, fire, and... What are we doing? What Ra gaming are we doing? Egyptian of the sun, noonday sun, ruled all parts of the created world, the sky, the earth, and the underworld. actually, if we ruled the sky as well, so if we do solar, air, and earth, so that's kind of like his entire thing. He is the god of the sun. He has the power of the air and the earth, which is going to lead to Seth. Set, technically. Set, not Seth. Set. Set. Or it can be Seth, god of desert, storms, disorder, violence, and foreigners. Yes. War. We'll do. War is always a good one for that. Storms. Luckily, we have storms. Let's see. Do we have another one to kind of tie everything together? Disorder. I guess we could follow our first one of chaos in here. We already got chaos and wealth over here for Keck, this very minor deity. I find it funny to bring him in because I am a funny man. Let's see. Abyssal sacrifice. So you're like effectively a magic. If I'm looking at this correctly. You're an ancient deity. You're an ancient gypsy deity. Maintaining the use being one of the two deities on either side of the bar. Can lady arbitration of godly disputes, arts of magic. Okay, so you have a little bit of death inside you. You have knowledge, of course. A lot of the Egyptian gods have knowledge, and you have magic. Those are your things. Kidoki. Okay, we've got some more of them. Let's keep going. Let's see. We've got the Greek. We need to do the Norse pantheon. Let's go and find the Norse gods. Norse gods. Cool. Let's talk about them. Hell yeah. Woo. North mythology. North. Aesir, Vanir, Jotnar. List of Norse god. Oh god, why are there so many? Give me the main one. What are the main Aesir? So let's see. We have Thor, Balder, main Norse gods. Main Norse god. Perfect. Center of excellence. So, Odin, Frigg, Thor, Loki, Balder, Heimdall, Tyr, and Odd. These are the main Aesir. Technically, I should bring in the others. However, no. I could bring them in, but these are legitimately just examples. Why are these just going to be examples? Because it's important. Heimdall. Yeah. Actually, we can just probably should be fine enough. So chief, major. Heimdall. I forgot Heimdall. What do you do, Heimdall? Watchman of the gods. You're gonna be minor. Tech. Tyr. You're gonna be major as well. Thor. Lightning. Storms. And war. Balder. What are you doing, Balder? Balder. What are you doing? Where am I having to look at you two here? God is a son of the god, numerous brothers, such form of Valir. Balder is the god of beauty, light, purity, and joy. Cool, Balder. That means you're going to have the power of solar. You're going to have a little bit what domains do we have currently? Sorry if I'm not like if I'm kind of like zoning out currently, because it's just like we gotta do it all these different things. Let's see. Yeah, pretty much. Why Loki is chief? Because Loki has his very stupid amount of power. That is legitimately the only thing, is because Loki fucks around too much. And Loki also caused fucking Ragnarok. Because you gotta remember, all the myths are technically true. Ragnarok is happening constantly. It's always here, right now, and Loki is the problem. And Loki keeps making everything a problem. And if you, it's one of those things where you also have to think about it as what in popular consciousness, just popular consciousness, most likely when people say Norse mythology, the first thing people think of is Thor, Odin, and Loki. I can make a wild guess. Those are the first three that come into mind. And probably most of the time, it's going to be Loki, Thor, then Odin. Odin is the technical chief because he's the head of everything. Loki just has a shit ton of power because he's the one who kept causing the apocalypse. Freya? Oh god, I forgot fucking Freya. Where are you, Freya? Freya, where are you, Freya? Oh god, a sister and female counterpart of Freyr. Technically, yeah, I guess we can throw in Freya somewhere. She's part of the other ones, if I remember correctly. She's part of the other god, the Vanir. There we go, yeah. She's a member of the Vanir, which are technically different from the Aesir because Germans. The Germans. Yeah, they're technically the Vanir. I'm just gonna throw the Aesir in here, being like, yeah, they're also doing things, but they're just not here. What? Why aren't they here? Because I don't want to deal with them. If anything, I could probably cut the each down to about 3 each, but I'm like that. I just want to give people some more ideas. So let's just go over our current tags, which we're going to have to write out, which is going to be a very long and nightmarish process. Authority, healing, solar, knowledge, fuck, death, fear, primal, moon, magic, wealth. Did I put it in life already? Life. Fire. Earth. Water. Storage. Storms. I believe I already have storms, right? Storms. Earth. Welcome to Earth. Air. Lightning. Oh, fuck me. I'm already gonna have to write so many of these fucking things. Oh, jeez. Do Odin... No, phrase... Oh, what's this in the corner? This is just legitimately just a notepad. But how is it there? Well, I mean, in OBS I'm allowed to use a window, and so I use a window, and I'm able to place it there in the corner. Oh, it's the magic of editing. Yeah, it's legitimately just OBS. Like, technically I can do a lot of things in OBS. Like, right this second, I can, like, right now, right this very moment, I can just change something to, here, I can just, there's a second me, everybody. Oh my god, it's horrifying. It's a second me. Why don't I just add a second? There you guys are. Look, everybody, there you are. Everybody clap. Everybody say hello. See? Everyone say hello. And then here's a second notepad on top of the notepad to make sure that I'm notepadding my notepad. And then here's the program I use for everything. See, I can't show that behind the screen. Oopsie doopsie. Yeah. Oh, you had to change programs when switching to Windows 11. I did. I did have to change. This is not. This is the here's the thing. This right here, this is actually not this is not like Notepad. Like, if I were to open up Notepad right now, this, let me go over here. This is Notepad. This is like Windows 11 Notepad. I don't like Windows 11 Notepad for a few reasons. It just doesn't vibe with me very much. I didn't like it very much. It's kind of weird because they threw in a bunch of weird little things in it, make it more like a text editor in some capacities. So I just made it go away, and I just used a thing called, literally, it's called Notepad 2. Like, this is it. This is what I use in the corner. Notepad 2. It's... That's just what it's called. Ta-da! Notepad++. No, I refuse. I don't like Notepad++. That's for coder people, not for... Yeah, I like classic Notepad. That's what I do. That's what my face is, damn it. Does this look like I have a chameleon on my face? You think this A stands for France? What are we doing besides procrastinating? What are we doing besides procrastinating? I'm writing a tabletop role-playing game, and I'm losing my fucking mind doing that. Because I'm going to have to write powers for currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, going on 20 different abilities, because I fucking hate myself and I wanted to avoid this, but I can't. God damn it. I don't want to write powers. I hate writing powers, but I know I'm gonna have to write it, and I'm just gonna have to fucking suck it up, I think. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm just gonna have to suck it up and just write a shit ton of powers. Oh boy, I love it. I love writing like an absurd number of fucking powers. Odin! What abilities does Odin have? Odin obviously has authority, war, knowledge, and what's another thing Odin does a lot? Lightning. Odin, give me something to work with here. What do you do, Odin? What do you do? Tell me what's up, brother. Hey, what do you do? Odin is the god of what obscure shit that you are. Actually, you know what we can do? We can do... Technically, he would be also the god of death. Frigg, what are you doing? what's your Jammerino? Frigg is the goddess. Oh, Frigg. Frigg is the goddess of motherhood. Oh, like motherhood. Clairvoyance, cleverness, and prophecy. Fuck. Okay, so it's like we cut Frigg because I genuinely don't know what to do with her. We can add in chaos. Like, why are we cutting her? I have no idea what I'm doing with her. Heimdall, what are you doing, Heimdall? God, it's gonna be like, Heimdall's the god of doing things. Foresight, surveillance, order, and foreknowledge. God of light and protection. So, I mean, I guess we can add a little bit of solar in there. We can do solar and war, technically, because that would be one and the same. If we want to go to Tyr is the god of war, authority. Actually, no, war. I guess we can do like war, death, and life. That would be pretty appropriate for him. Little bit of everything. Do you have, what else do you have in here? Apparently got to concern formalities of war. Justice. You got anything for justice? Knowledge, I guess. No, it would be authority. Yeah, he would have authority. I mean, Loki doesn't have authority, but Tyr does. There we go. That's the compromise. Is this like D&D? Technically, if we're basing it down into the most, basic concept of things, yes, it is technically like D&D. It is a tabletop role-playing game. They'll create some freaking awesome powers. Where do these things get commissioned? Oh. And how much is that commission? Really, I'll create some freaking awesome powers. Okay, so, oh Jesus. Oh no. Oh no. Doing right now, people pay money. I just updated my prices not too long ago. Odin barely has authority. Everyone thinks he's a weirdo. I'm using the idea of authority to be more like you have pull more than anything. Like by virtue of being the king of the gods, you have that authority. And if people with two authorities clash with one another, it's like, yeah, we're gonna start bickering at each other. Like we just hate one another. Oh goodness, there's so many questions being asked right now. Let me start from the top here. I see a lot of people. Yes, a lot of people. Tabletop role-playing games are pretty big, pretty large. Where is death? Why are storms and lightning two separate domains? Because storms is more along the idea of more like weather and more like natural disaster. Lightning would be more along the idea of like you just have domain of lightning. Pretty simple, like keep things separate, keep things equal kind of thing. Because he doesn't do storms. He's lightning, Odin, fart stench. He's a trickster, also trickery. He trolled a troll and trolled Thor once. Odin barely has authority. Let's see. Who's boxing this weekend? We need bureaucracy as a domain. Why lightning and I'm still confused as why lightning and storms are two domains because I don't know what else to put. Okay, I don't know what else to give fucking Zeus. Zeus's one thing is lightning. It's like his one thing. Yeah, that's kind of the it's kind of the issue with some of these gods. I mean, like, what domain, like, what fucking domain does, like, Thor have? Lightning. It's not necessarily storms, it's lightning. He is the god of lightning. Like, god damn it. Oh, the Chinese gods, I'm not ready for the Chinese gods. There's gonna be like 4 Chinese gods and just being like, yeah, here they are, they exist. Don't please, don't make me do this. Okay, so war, death, and authority. Okay, let's see, we need another pantheon. What other fucking pantheons are there? When in doubt, Scion 2E pantheons. Tell me more. Tell me more about your pantheons there. Hello. We've got the Southeast Asia. Okay, what do we got there? The Yoruba gods, the Chinese gods. There we go. The Aztec gods. We'll just do. Maybe we'll do like the there we go. We got some funny ones here. Do we got some funny kami? Oh, there's a lot of them. Purviews. Do I just say fuck it and just get rid of this entirely? Oh god. This is a project for many people and I'm only me. If we say fuck it, we leave with what we have, and then we effectively just a big note on there saying, hey, you are free to do whatever you got. Like, the domains and stuff are a little bit loosey-goosey to kind of give you an idea. Like, gods have some, like, bigger gods have bigger domains. Gods have, that's what he kind of wants. Fuck it, fuck it. No, I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna drive myself fucking insane if I try this. I spent like an hour doing it, but fuck it, I'm getting rid of it. I can't afford it. I need to write down every domain. Okay, we're gonna write down every domain we have, and let's see, war. We have war, authority. Healing, solar, knowledge, war, death. We already did death, fear, primal, moon, magic, life, live, life, wealth, fire. Actually, if we can do fire, earth, water, air, and fire, earth, water, air. Fire, earth, water, air. I'm missing one. There's 4 fucking nations. Fire, earth, water, air. There's a 5th one. No, I'm thinking of the Chinese Godai. That's fucking wood. Like, who cares about wood? Wood. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, no. Nope, gonna go crazy, gonna go nutty, gonna go bonkers, gonna go hee hee hoo hoo, ha ha hoo ha hee hee. I guess we can do storm. We can keep storms. We have lightning. I think lightning. Go to the Roman pantheon. Everything should be relatively the exact same there. We keep it here. Do we have knowledge? Bring in. We do have knowledge, life, death, authority, lightning, air, primal. Chaos, put in chaos, well, death, authority, knowledge, magic, fire, knowledge, authority, solar, air, chaos, death, authority, war, knowledge, death, lightning, storms, war, solar, life, fire, chaos, knowledge, primal, death, solar, war, death, authority. Okay. We're gonna look at this from a different angle. Okay, we're gonna look at this from a different angle. Let's actually see what we have. Word counter. Let's count our words, everybody. We've got 19 of them. Let's add in. We're going to just kill this right off the bat. Actually, no, we'll do example. We'll do example gods. But we just want to do a few example gods. Let's just cut them out. You get out of here. Hades, get out of here. We don't need you, Hades. Hephaestus, get out of here. Athena, we can keep you Athena, because we like Athena. Yeah, actually, Aphrodite, get out of here. We don't need you anymore. Go away, Aphrodite. What don't we need here? We need, Apollo is a funny note. It's funny to have the Apollo God 2, Electric Boogaloo. Diana, we can keep you, Diana. Minerva, congratulations, you're gone. Pluto, congratulations, you're gone. Vulcan, congratulations, you're gonna stay. Mercury, congratulations, you're gone. Neptune, go away. Jupiter, we're gonna put here. We're all technically the same god. The same helping of gods. It's great. Table. Anubis, we'll keep you. Horus, you're good. Keck, we'll keep you for funny. Cyrus, Ptah, go away, Ptah. Ra, oopsie doopsie, you're gone. Set, oh no, what a shame. Congratulations. Oh god. So bad. I guess we'll throw in Sobek, Primal, Primal, and War. We'll throw you all in there. Just to Egyptians anymore. Begone, Egyptians. The Norse pantheon. You can just keep. You can just keep. Nope. Let's see, do we want any... Okay, these are example gods. What else do we need? What else are we, maybe, what else are we really thinking about? Okay, let's see, okay, let's scroll up here a little bit. Yeah, like minor domains, I don't really, the problem is I don't know what to do with those to make that interesting because of how things are kind of been setting up slowly. Domain of all the Chinese god bureaucracy. Virtue, Thorin, the Aztec one. Nature. Okay, we can do nature. Nature works. Trickery. We like trickery. Actually, no, chaos. That kind of falls into chaos. Put your stuff in the chat. GPT. No. Maybe going for something in 5 schools of Warframe. Storm, Mountain, Crystal Ocean, Forest. He killed Hephaestus. Hideous craftsman. Prime. What is primal even? Animals. Okay, yeah, I can do that. If you have any suggestions, tell me now. I am all ears. I am totally aboard. What do you think is more important? Oh god, his name is so long. All right, what do you think is more important, the solar or what do we drop? Because it sounds like you want to make him a major god. Chief. All right, cool. We can do that. We'll make him a chief then. Cool. We'll throw in fire and solar. Kind of like one of the ideas that I kind of like, I'm trying to like remember, this was a bit that he was talking about, is he doesn't necessarily want things to be pretty specific. He wants things to be a little bit more loosey-goosey in that regard. Where it's like, oh, hey, actually, you know what I can do? I can drop this Apollo. Because, you know, Roman Apollo, Greek Apollo fought repeatedly with Roman Apollo. pretty much like the idea is you can use your as long as you can make a petition for it, it'd be fine. That's kind of the issue. Mara. Okay, do we have Mara in here somewhere? Mara Elder Scrolls. Marathon Digital Holdings Incorporated. Mara God. It's a demon. It's also a Hindu goddess. The word meaning death. Mara is the goddess of death, and offering we placed at her altar. Alright, I mean, I get we could legitimately throw Minor in here. The Minor, we'll do death, and what else do you do? Death and life. There we go. Mara, because we all like Mara. She's in here now. You got like SMT has the best depiction of Mara. Aztec gods. No, why are you doing this to me? Oh god, like what do you even do? What does this even do? What is this? What is this? This isn't a name. This is just sadness. Like, I'm sorry, but this is... I'm sorry, but this is why this is why Cortez showed up. He couldn't pronounce jack shit. The XI is telling me it should sound like shu, like shutekuli, shutekuli, Utul? I don't fucking speak the Aztec. I'm sorry. Sorry, gamers. Sorry, fellow gamers out there. I don't speak that. Oldest and most revered, Lord of Fire, God of Fire, Day and Heat. Lord of Volcanoes, personification of death. Ah, of course. Fire, death, and earth. Yeah, these are just examples. Again, these are just examples for everybody to be like, hey, my dad. Hey, everybody, my dad is Horus. Why is Horus my dad? Hey, everybody, my dad is Jupiter. Everybody hates Jupiter. Hey, guys, my dad is Sobek. This is the thing that I can draw from. Okay. Make a deity, pick 3 domains, now quit making me make gods. We don't need more death gods. We have plenty of them. Okay. Granting them its power immediately. Here's what we can... Oh, let's get on with this a little bit. We kind of got delayed a little bit. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. Nature, we got prime. What are we working for? Everybody's working for the weekend. Everybody's working for the weekend. What are we missing? I feel like we're missing something. I don't know what we're missing. Charms. I guess we can do actually, we can put in Oracle. Oracle could work. Oracle could be one. Do we have one more to work with? clairvoyancy, actually. Clairvoyance probably work a little bit better there. Ah, God, what's it? You know what? You know what? We can put in bureaucracy to make that funny, to kind of make a little bit of a funny, but we do all of these. This is 21 different powers. That means in total we're going to have to write about 63 keywords. If I'm doing my math correctly, we're going to be writing about 63 keywords. In total, you're going to end up with possibly... So that's just 21 times 4, about 48. Actually, no, you're going to end up with about 4 times 21. You're going to end up with about 84 different combinations, potentially. You're gonna end up with about 84 separate combinations of various things, but some are just gonna be a little bit more suited for others, obviously, because that's how it goes. I think that's fine. A wiki page and Keck links to Pepe the Frog. Yes, that's the best part. Let's think. Okay, we want to do how do we want to what? Actually, no, we can do actually, we have a example. We have Dazbog here. Dazbog, he is a major deity. He has solar life and primal. Dazbog, he's from the Slavic ones. They say God has abandoned the Slavs. I say we have just simply not given them a chance. There we go. Choose first of any patron domain, the primary domain, granting them the power immediately. So we want to do insert, table insert. We want to do, go up here, Bronislaw, son of Dazbog. Technically, what's his proper name? Mazur. So, Bronislaw's player. Player wants to embody the major deity's solar domain first. This so Bronislaw would have the solar domain. So Bronislaw would have the solar domain. This Dazbog is a major deity. Slav being being one of his few children to adopt to gain the power of his solar radiance. Go. Ta-da! Ta-da! So what we can do, if we want to keep all of this right here, I'm gonna keep that at the bottom there. Pretty much, like, these are just example patrons. What we can do is, don't see them. Side note. Create it. create a patron. Create a patron. The gods listed here. Let's see. The gods listed here are a small helping of the various entities that that inhabit either space. If a player wishes to gain patronage, to be the if a player has an idea, then allow them to adopt that patron, their preferred patron, and then determine their scale, assign various determine their scale, assign various domains, and let them go. Feel free to edit any of the above deities as well, allowing them. They are examples. There we go. Create a patron. Just like you too can create a patron out of you. Don't worry. Subscribe to my Patreon. Hey, I gotta shill every now and again. Is this a Percy Jackson game? No, but yes. Because what happened was, it started out from my first time communicating with the commissioner. It was effectively Scion, but it was like it's Scion but with just a different system, and that was the original intent. It then escalated because he was like, "Oh, I want it to be more like Smite." Like, yeah, he said like, "Oh, I want it to be more like Smite." So I'm like, what the fuck? I had to read all the Smite lore. Smite, mind you, has its own set of lore that's like very convoluted and very detailed, and it's like, oh, all right, easy enough to understand. And then I'm like, oh, wait a second, it's like Percy Jackson. I never read any of the Percy Jackson books, but I can definitely pretend I have. Then it kind of adopted a little bit of that. It's kind of a weird mishmash of a bunch of different things at once. But from the sounds of it, the commissioner anyway, was looking for it to be more like a superhero game kind of. But then he was like, then he kind of doubled down a little bit on the Smite aspect. So it's like, I don't quite know what the fuck you are looking for. Ha ha ha, hee hee, hoo hoo hoo. Like, yeah, it's effectively superheroes, but demigods, but not at the same time. But we're also Smite. So, ta-da, here we are. It's so much fun. I like commission projects. They do force me to think outside the box a little bit, and this is one of those times where I'm like, all right, let's really think outside the fucking box all of a sudden. Here's what we can do. We do this, we have this here. What we can do is we talk about the domains. I think talking about the domains is the right call. We do insert, we do a 1, 2, 3, 4. We do a 4-man table. We do So let's see, we've got 21. Oh, gee. 1, 2, 3. Get forgotten. Okay, we need like one more to wrap. We needed one more fucking. God damn it. God damn it. I've been befuddled again. Do this. Do them. Do. 1.1. 1.1. You. 2. You. 2. There we go. Clairvoyance. So, basic description of war, conflict and conflict and bloodshed. Conflict and bloodshed. Guess what we get to do? We get to go pop, pop. Conflict and bloodshed. Root. Sun and light. Mysteries. Order would do a good one. Why are you trying to mix drinks all of a sudden? You trying to make fucking Bloody Marys? Life. Prosperity and power, fire. Blazing Inferno, the hardened ground, the hardened earth. Oh god, what? Let's see, the Blazing Inferno, the hardened earth, the lights. Fuck. What would you describe air as? It was like you have power over air. You can like blast. It's gusts of wind and shit like that. It's your ability to manipulate the world around you a little bit more accurate, a bit more powerful, because that's the thing what you're going to be doing, because that's what we're doing. That's the game. That's the thing. That's the thing. The storm. Natural disaster and weather. The power. The divinity of divinity of the thunder. Divine light given form. Chaos. God, how do you describe something as chaotic? Chaos. Disorder. Insanity and disorder. And disorder. That's how you describe chaos. Disorder. Clairvoyance. Seeing beyond sight. Bureaucracy. Efficiency and practice. And order. On justice. Kind of like a loose domain of like, what are these all about? Well, they're about these things. And what we do is we ensure that you're pinned correctly. We this button. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. Ooh. Behold my life hack of just organizing the tables here without having to think about it too hard. There we go. There's some basic domains that we all know about, we all understand. I want to be part of the Solar Church because I am cool. Awesome. Raging Tempest. There we go. That's a good one for air. Raging Tempest. It's a little bit like, oh, what the fuck is going on here? It's like, you're not really supposed to know, like, right away. Just kind of giving you some basic ideas. Alright, so granting them their example patrons. Actually, no, we're not going to be talking about domains right up here right this second. I want to get this done, because if I get character creation done, I feel pretty good about myself. So, Saga. The Saga. So, the Saga. The Saga. A hero is nothing without it. After their patron and domain have been chosen, the hero is almost ready to fully explore the grand worlds of either space and the true world. Let's see. They are almost ready to fully explore the grand worlds of the other space and the true world. Each hero has a variety of derived statistics that will help them in their adventures. As well as determining their hero die. So derived statistics that'll help them in their adventures. Nope. That's legitimately what the Saga section is all about, is like it's the derived adventure, it's the derived statistics section. So what we do would be a good term for this? Not life points. That's a little bit weird. It's kind of like trying to represent like your like bodily essence. Like, yeah, you are hard to kill, but like something can kill you. That's kind of the idea. Keeping it with like the idea of like this is just your blood, like that could also work. Half of me wants to clear. God, what's a good way? We'll just call it hit points for now. Hit points. A hero. Hit points. I don't really know what else to call it. Hit points represent a hero's physical form and ability to withstand punishment they may endure. While all the champions and children of the gods. Hardy, invincible, unkillable. Unkillable. They are not. Being able to survive in either space is no small feat. If a hero's HP, I don't really know what else to call it. Let me see. Icker. It's a good word, actually. What would you call it though? Like, would you just call it Icker, or would you give it something? You put a word in front of it. No, we can just use Icker. I think Icker works. Good job. I like that. Icker. If a hero's Icker, Icker. The hero's Icker ever reaches 0, they are incapacitated. They are down, incapacitated. Yeah, actually no, they are incapacitated. They're incapacitated. During this state of torpor, they cannot act or perceive the world around them, but they are not dead. If a hero is ever reduced to negative of their total Icker value, negative of their total Icker value, 20 negative 20 if the hero's Icker is 20. They are slain naturally. However, if another demigod or god, actually, if another hero or divine or deity were to slay the enemy, down the hero, if another hero, actually another divine entity were to down the hero and then willingly kill them, they will then willingly strike them down. They perish. So it's kind of like the idea of, I've been reduced down to 0 HP. You know, I've been hit. I go down. Pretty much, if I bleed out, like if I'm like on fire or something, I hit negative 20, I'm just going to pass away. I'm dead. But if I'm downed, and then another hero or another divine entity shows up and stabs me, effectively they coup de grace me, it's over. But only they can do that, only divine entity. You lose against Ares, Ares is going to kill you because he's Ares. If you down a hero, you can bring them back up. You can grab their hand and say, "You're not dying today. I beat you in battle, but you will not die." Or you can stab them, or you can willingly actually be the one to bring them down. But it's kind of like a willing effort. Like you have to be the one to stop them. You have to be the one to stop them, kill them. Let's see. So represents a hero's form ability reaches 0 perceive. So we will do what we will do is here. So total Ichor is going to be, we will say, let's say 15 plus let's say 15 plus body plus conviction. Actually, body plus conviction plus will. So it might seem like a lot, and I do want you to have quite a bit of, like, I actually want you to feel like you're fairly powerful. Actually, if we reduce that down to that, you can still have a lot. Like, those are all your, like, not necessarily application stats. That's kind of the idea there. So it's 10 plus body plus conviction plus will. Total Ichor. Is that max roll or half? I should say. Actually, you know what? The hero's total. The hero. Ichor. Actually, no. Is. When a attribute comes up, treat it as the max value of the die in question. Max value of the die. When an attribute comes up, treat it as the max value of the die in question. So yeah, generally speaking, you're going to probably have about 30 HP if you know what you're 30 Ichor if you know what you're doing. That would be my guess. If you like deliberately kind of gimp yourself a little bit, you're like, let's say you just keep these at all like D4, for example, that's still going to be 14, 18, 22. You're just going to have 22. Like, if you willingly do not increase that, though my guesstimate would be probably around, you're going to have probably either like your upper 20s, absolute highest if you take double D12s and a D8. That would be 24, 32, you'd have 42 HP. But mind you, that is, you have 42 Ichor. However, you have probably absolutely no ability to do anything else. You are just a brick shithouse. Like, you aren't going to break it all, but you are not really going to be able to contribute as much. Because you're going to be rolling like D4 for your prowess. That's kind of the issue there. That is the compromise. Like, if you want to get the absolute highest, you're gonna be paying a little bit. We want to do I'm gonna borrow another idea in the previous game. Aetheric. Aether energy. Aether is the energy that powers the entirety of Aether space. It is both a potent and dangerous substance. Both a potent and dangerous substance. As the hero, fuck shit. That's not how I want this to go. How do I want this to? Pretty much what I want this idea to be. Not necessarily like a mana pool, but kind of like a oh fuck pool, if that makes sense. Like I can like push myself to do something maybe a little bit more than I would naturally be able to. And that kind of like is going to be actively increasing just as much as decreasing and things like that. So it's like I have like a little bit of leeway in case things go wrong. I can burn a little bit of my Aether away to do something. It's like I'm gonna burn a little bit of this, burn a little bit of that away, just to give myself like a +1 or +2 on something. Kind of like a inbuilt Benny system. Actually, I know how I want to do this. Okay, I know. I know it. Aether stores. Actually, no. God, how do I want to word this? It's not ether, it's either. The economy is in shambles. See, I'm glad everyone is contributing to fix the economy somehow. Like, I'm glad everybody is like, yeah, you know what? Let's fix the economy. Except somebody, ethical. I'm looking at you, ethical, not wanting to fix the economy and hoarding your note coin. Now we want to do, I guess we would call it Aether. Actually, no, we'd, call it Drive. How about that? Drive is the hero's ability to push past their limits and defy the odds. Push past their limits and defy the odds. Every demigod has a piece of their godly piece of their patron's power embedded inside of them. Embedded inside of them, but the mortal aspect of their being allows them to push beyond their natural limits. Drive resets at the start of every session or adventure for longer. Let's see, start of every session or adventure for situations. But can be used to increase the results of a die roll of a challenge by 1 for 1 drive. +1 for 1 drive. All drive allows the demigod to push their abilities to their absolute limit as well, with some keyword, with, actually, I know this is a good idea, actually, with keywords and abilities keyed, abilities requiring the expenditure of drive to successfully perform. Hero without drive is not helpless. Not helpless, just at a disadvantage. It actually makes things a little bit easier later on. I might throw in a note in there somewhere later on being like, hey, you can restore it by doing this, this, and this. And we 5. A little bit excessive, but I like being better to be excessive than not. 1 and total drive, which total drive is going to be 5 plus soul plus hero die. I'm using soul because soul is the one that is like use the absolute least, and it kind of gives somebody a little bit more of like, hey, I'm able to do things. Part of me wants to be kind of like the opposite of it, being like, oh, hey, you know, it's 5 plus all your other attributes. So people who aren't really tough have a lot of drive, but people who are really tough have a lot of this. But I'm afraid that'll be people will abuse that a little bit too much. And the thing is, if you have really high soul, that probably means you're kind of gimped yourself elsewhere. Well, someone wants to run an ad. More than the ads! Yay, ads! Pay 5K to have Kronk read off the katana copy pasta. Maybe that's what I should do. Add that in there as a payment option. Pay, just send me a copy pasta on Discord and I'll read it out. It'll be great. People are asking me weird, odd questions because people respect my opinion. Oh wow, I'm getting Hogwarts Legacy ads. Great, everybody. I sure do love Hogwarts Legacy, my favorite game. See, this is the best part, is I have zero investment in Hogwarts or Harry Potter in general. So anybody who's like, man, I sure do love Harry Potter, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. This entire thing with Harry Potter though has really just made my day, however. Because, man, the one thing I love more than Harry Potter is the people who get mad about Harry Potter. The game looks for a younger, actually, what's the rating on that game? Let's look at everybody. I'm curious. Hogwarts Legacy rating. Rating is like, it has to be ESRB. It's a teen game. Yeah, I could picture like kids being like, oh boy, I want to play this. Because like, it looks pretty fun. Like, that's the thing. If I was a kid, I'd be like, all right, like, for spoken, that's M, right? That has to be M. Yeah, that's M. Strong language and violent. Like, the thing that with Hogwarts Legacy that looks a little bit weird to me, and everyone's like, it's the worst game of all time, it's the best game of all time, is like, it looks really pretty, but apparently from what I've gathered, like to me anyway, is this like, oh well, you got 4 houses and you've got all these things. I'm like, how in God's name are you going to actually fit that much content into one game? We'll see a game from like not a big studio. I'm like, if it was like one house and you got I have a strange feeling a lot of the characters among all the houses are going to be the exact same. Or it's going to be like, it's the same thing, just slightly different every time. Look, everybody, or it's just like the house really doesn't matter, but like you'd think that means a lot. But it could be fun, like to me at least. It would be like, oh, hey, it's you get to become this. But we also have the fucking house elves. Man, I do sure love the house elves. Oy vey, wizard. I can be racist. It's fine. I think the 4 houses is just a question. Exactly, it's just a quest chain. Because you would think that would be like such a like fundamental thing. What? Notepad is racist? I'm Jewish. I can do whatever I want. Like, that's the best part. Yeah, it's like one of the things with Hogwarts I like. Yeah, that people. It's like I don't think people would have given a shit about this game as much. I think the people who are like really hardcore Harry Potter fans, it's like, cool, I'm totally in. I love Harry Potter. It's the greatest thing ever. Because it actually looks like they were going back to that old school of playing, kind of a little bit more open world. Yeah, again, but you gotta remember, like, those old Harry Potter games were, like, they were pretty open world for the time. Like, if that, does that make sense? You know, like, those old Harry Potter games for, like, the tech they were working with, like, those were pretty open-ended. I think it was a return to form there by a pretty small studio, relatively speaking. I mean, let me open up who's the studio that did it? Because I know it wasn't like a massive studio. It wasn't like it wasn't Ubisoft. It was Avalanche Software. Avalanche, what have you done? Oh wow, Cars 3, Driven to Win, Disney Infinity 3.0, Disney Infinity 2.0, Disney Infinity, Cars 2, Toy Story 3 for the Wii. Oh wow, everybody, from the developers that brought you NCAA 2003 and Rampage Through Time and Mortal Kombat Mythologies back in 97. Like yeah, it looks like Warner Brothers opened it, and it's just like, this isn't like a big company. Like, that's the thing. Like, let's see. Yeah, it's not a big company, nor is it like a important company. Like, this is a very small kind of nothing burger company. And the fact that they were even able to do it is actually, I commend. I commend the guys who did this. The fact that they were able to do it. That's the thing. And it's funny, people are like fucking trying to send like death threats to the guys, and it's like, guys, I don't think you quite understand. They didn't have a choice to make this. Still boycotting it and trying to make it a character happy, we're trying to make happy with the character creation, because character creation built so you can play buff rugby player looking Perone in the Witch Dorm. Yeah, it's from what I've actually seen and read, it looks like it's a perfectly serviceable, if kind of like, I wouldn't say low tier, but I would say like it's a fine game. It's a perfect like 7 out of 10. Like, good job, team. I don't know how it plays, and the thing is, I have no interest in the game. That's kind of like one of the things. Is like, I have no desire to be like, all right, everybody, time to play. I'm not really. I haven't played one of those kind of games in years. I think the last like big open world game I played was I believe it was the Mad Max game. The Mad Max game was pretty good, by the way. Like, it was really good for no reason. Like, it wasn't like great, but it was like, oh, this is fun. I am enjoying myself playing this. I am having something terrible, and it's called fun. I'm enjoying myself. That I have that feeling of, what's this? Childlike mirth in my heart. Sleeping Dogs was fun, but I usually don't play those kind of games. Play like all those PlayStation third-person hack and slash games. Well, hell, Dragon Age is becoming that. Jesus. Have you guys seen the new Dragon Age trailer? You know, fucking Dragon Age Origins. Yeah, it's like, oh, cool. I love Dragon Age Origins. You know, this really good CRPG from back in the day. I could say back in the day. It's over a decade. It's over a decade fucking old. Like, yeah, this Dragon Age Origins holds up. I will be one of the very few people in the world to ever go to bat for Dragon Age 2. I think Dragon Age 2 was a good idea, executed terribly. I liked Dragon Age 2. I had fun with the game. I will be the first one to say, though, this shit is whack, and it's not a good game. It's not a great game. It's not a bad game. The issue is, like, it has a lot of neat ideas. They just do not capitalize on. That's the unfortunate problem with Dragon Age 2. Like, Dragon Age Inquisition was... Every piece of gameplay I saw for Dragon Age Inquisition, I did not like it. I thought it looked really boring. Really boring and really fan servicey. Because they brought back Varric, who was the most popular character in 2. And just all the characters they kind of kept bringing back, it was like, I don't like any of these characters. I have no feelings toward any of them. It was like, hello, fellow kids, do you like Dragon Age? It was like, okay, not my jam, but I could understand, like, the 2 people who might enjoy this. But now they're doing, like, Dragon Age 4? It's like Call of the Wolf or something. I believe that's what it's called. Featuring this fucking idiot right here. Yeah, it's this fucking elf that they're like, oh man, I love this elf. He's the new bad guy, apparently, because he's super evil in Inquisition or something. I don't fucking know. If I can find that video. Where's that video? They had a video out. Like, is this it? Is this the teaser trailer? Is this the official one where they show the fucking gameplay? And I want to kill someone because it looks fucking awful. Where's the Dragon Age 4 combat? Where is it? Not Inquisition. God damn it. I don't know where it. Oh, that's a cinematic trailer. No, that's not it. I can't find it. I saw that Dragon Age become more and more action RPGs. Like, that's the weird thing with, like, Dragon Age, like, the new one, apparently, because they are shifting it entirely to, like, God of War 4 combat. I'm like, why? Why? Like, the new DA is nothing except repurposed 2004. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like, the problem with Dragon Age 2, here's the thing with Dragon Age 2. This is going to be my thing, like, going to bat for Dragon Age fucking 2, about fucking games, is the idea they were going for was, hey, this is a story being told by somebody to another person. Why does everything look the same? Everything looks the same because that's how he's remembering it, because he's a dumbass. Cool. I was like, okay, I kind of get this. I'm like, all right. It's more of like, it's a story about that he's retelling. The two issues, and I'll say this, is they did not do enough to remake, they did not do enough to explore that singular concept. And it felt like they didn't like justify being like, didn't you already say that we were here? And he was like, oh, okay, let me just like, it was something different, and kind of playing more on that idea a little bit more. And that's what happened. It was just like the maps became so samey, where it was like, okay. And it was bad because there was one map that has been, you know, stuck in my mind for years, and I remember this distinctly. And it's very difficult for me to ever forget this map. And I'm gonna draw it out the way I have like this like picture perfect memory of one little fucking map in Dragon Age 2. Because what it would do is that you would follow this path. There would be a set of stairs right here leading up to like an upper platform. And then there would be a set of stairs right here leading up to another platform. And enemies would spawn right here, right here, right here, right here, and one would spawn right here. And you would always be approaching from this side. So you would be like walking forward. You'd be walking forward, and you would always find the exact same enemies would spawn there. I have that particular part of the map so ingrained in my memory. It's so painful. Yeah, in Dragon Age Inquisition, Solus, I believe his name was, he's the main big bad, because he's like ancient devil god that the elves sealed away. But he's back, oh no, because Inquisition was dumb. And I say Inquisition was dumb because it was like the premise of it was just kind of... It was too big for its own good. It was like one of the things I actually liked about Dragon Age Origins quite a bit. In Dragon Age Origins, you were not the hero. Like, that was like the thing I loved most about it. You weren't the hero. You were some dumb fuck. You were some stupid fucking moron that you ended up stuck in this situation. You were the last two Grey Warden. You and Alistair. It was ride or die. And Alistair was like, I don't want to be a leader. And so it was like, you kind of get thrust into this position as the only leader. So it's like, oh man, I gotta be a hero. And it's not... And you can go the entire game, and I remember this distinctly. You can go like half the game, like, with nobody knowing who the fuck you are. And it's like, man, that sucks. You know, Inquisition currently unplayable. Last update, broken ability added in the DLC. Now crashes whenever someone uses it. I guess you could just do it if you just remove that ability, unless it's like a key ability, which would be funny by itself. It's the problem with Inquisition is it was rather than like, here's a part of the story, like here is like an actual part of the world, and like you're a Inquisitor. You could just not use it, but in the DLC, NPC has it, they can't make them not use it. That's even better. That's even better. It's not. It's a lot worse, actually. But like, one of the things with like Dragon Age that I always find fascinating is like, again, the first one, you explore the Grey Wardens. The Grey Wardens are a fucking amazing idea. Like, they're very interesting. They're like kind of like budget witchers at the end of the day, but they kind of interact with the world in an interesting way. People kind of talk to them in a different way. And if you were playing a dwarf, if you were a dwarf Grey Warden through Dragon Age Origins, you will have the best fucking time, because you have a lot of intricacies with the people in Orgrimmar. And it's really interesting because a lot of the conversations there of like, you as a Grey Warden have a very different way of looking at things, including kind of the storylines there, especially if you're an Idukan. Like, especially if you're an Idukan, and simply because like that does change the nature of the game quite a bit, because you're kind of presented with an interesting situation. You're like, wait a fucking second, like, goddamn. The problem with Inquisition, like even like Dragon Age 2, for example, it had an interesting perspective of just like, you are Like, yeah, like if you, Dragon Age 2 is like, you are a dumbass from like the first town destroyed in the game, where you don't really think about it. You're just some guy escaping to Kirkwall. And it's kind of an interesting place we haven't seen before. It's very different from the rest of the kind of origins, and it's very similar, but like a lot of the characters you meet there are like, yeah, they are different. You are a foreigner. And especially if you play the game poorly like I did, you can actually end up in a very sad situation where Hawk loses everybody around her, or him, or whatever it is. I always see Hawk as a woman, because that's what I played as, because I didn't like the male Hawk voice very much. It was very interesting just because, like, you see, it's interesting because you just lose everybody around you, and it is sad. You feel sad as you, and it's like, oh man, like, this is an interesting kind of perspective on it. Varric was a great fucking character. I liked Meryl a lot. Meryl was a really fun character because she brought a very different dimension to blood magic. That was my thing. She brought a very fascinating angle to blood magic. Where, the first game, you're like, blood magic is evil and you should never touch it. Only if you kind of go deeper, you're like, oh, blood magic is kind of fucked up, but also not. But she's like, yeah, blood magic is fucked up, but here's how we can use it for good. It's like, oh, all right, I like her. Didn't much care for the Anders storyline, even though that was like such a massive fucking part of the game. Champion Kirkwall is confirmed male. It works. The weird thing was, yeah, and like I liked Anders in Awakening. I liked Anders in Awakening. Didn't much care for Anders in 2. I knew what they were doing. I know how they did it. I could see the thought process. I think the problem is the writings of Anders. Here's the thing. I don't like Anders because I don't like the way he was written, but I could see completely why he was written that way. Because he has justice in him. That's the reason. Like, that's the thing. He has justice in him. And I thought that was the reason. Be like, oh, he's got justice in him. Okay, everything's like, I get this. But that's not the case, and they kind of... But like the entire ending sequence of 2 is just stupid and it just doesn't work. No, I don't believe Dragon Age 2 ever really did anything except 4 coming out here soon. Like, Inquisition, the issue with Inquisition is that like they had a lot of characters, but none of the characters really mattered. And it was quite literally like, oh, hey kids, here's this new character. Hey kids, you like Varric? We got Varric back. Hey kids, you like this? We got him back. Look at everybody, look. It's great. Aren't you having fun? There were a couple other characters that were like, okay. Like, everybody hated the Iron Bull. I didn't hate the Iron Bull. I thought he was just like, okay, this is a really weird addition to like, we didn't get any Quinari in 2. That was the thing. We got no Quinari in 2 as a party member. I'm like, okay, Quinari's coming back. And it's like, okay, like, cool, but not. Like, what was the Damien, I believe his name was? The Imperia, the Imperium, the Tevinter Imperium. Like, I didn't hate the Iron Bull. I didn't get too far in that. Hello, Manly. We're talking about Dragon Age. Like, I didn't also interact with Iron Bull at all. That was the thing. I, like, never interacted with the Iron Bull because I'm like, you're kind of boring. I was with it was Blackwall I was with a lot, right? Yes, the game. The first Origins can easily take you like 50 hours if you're kind of... Origins will take you like 50 hours if you are rushing. Like, and I mean rushing through. Like, you can easily spend 100 hours in the first game. Easy. 2 2 isn't nearly as long. I will say that 2 is not nearly as long. But it feels a lot longer because the game never fucking ends. And I take that back. It ends like 3 times, but it keeps going. Because they keep reusing the same fucking areas. I never finished Inquisition, actually. I never actually finished it. Yeah, the one where it does a fucking drop kick. See if you can't find the combat trailer. That, like... I'm like, this doesn't, like, look as... This doesn't look like Dragon Age now. Like, this isn't... Actually, I know where I can find it. I remember I left a snarky comment. Look, everybody, it's me being popular. We go down here. There we go. It's, there we are. This is... Yeah, apparently that is the new combat system. Like, they're doing, like, this action RPG thing. You kind of see the way they're moving around and stuff. Like, it's really weird. Like, I don't know why. Like, that's the bizarre part. Like, I don't know why. Why it look and feel like it's like a cheap MMO. Like, here's the thing. I can't really judge a thing before, you know, I've really, like, looked at it, but I also feel like I like, the thing is this, I understand completely from I'm gonna looking at things from a completely, like, down up, you know, up going down. You know, that's kind of thing, you know, complete, like, me looking down as a, you know, more would be surprised. Like one of the big things there is CRPGs do not pay. They are incredibly niche. And you can't make a niche product anymore. You, as a AAA studio, as a big name studio, you can't make niche products anymore. And because you cannot make niche products anymore, it's you get things like, oh, well, BioWare makes great games. You know, BioWare does all these. BioWare hasn't really made anything for a while, like like a classic CRPG. It was the last, like, I would say, like, successful CRPG, like, really big, would be like Pillars of Eternity. But yeah, it is niche. It doesn't sell as much. It's just, you need to get that money back. You need to do it. And I think, like, that's one of the reasons why God of War, the new God of War games, PoE didn't do well. Yeah, I know. That's why I say Pillars of Eternity, not 2. It's like the thing with a lot of the, like, God of War, for example. The original God of War, it was actually an incredibly technical game. Like, you know, people think of, like, the original, like, you know, God of War was hit button, smash, and rip head open. But there was combos and shit like that. It was actually fairly detailed for the time, you know, and that's why people liked it a lot. It was bloody, it was gory, there was big set pieces. It was a big deal. But then they shifted to, like, the new God of Wars, which is, like, it's story, it's lots of dialogue, it's talking, it's doing a bunch of things like that. It is literally because that's a shit ton easier, and people eat that shit up. I was talking with my friend, actually, about this the other day, and it's just like, you can't have a conversation about God of War. Like, that was, like, the thing that I always thought was funny. Like, you physically cannot have a conversation about God of War 2. Because, like, what are you gonna talk about? Oh, man, you know that time I hit somebody with my axe? Yeah, that was really cool. Everyone kind of just nods and you just walk away from it. It's very big, it's a big spectacle, but nobody ever talks about the game. They talk about the things surrounding the game. Or like, oh man, did you know that time when Kratos did a thing? Yeah, that was cool. But then you look at, and then it was kind of like with Elden Ring, for example. People with Elden Ring do not shut the fuck up about Elden Ring. And they never talk about the story. They never talk about the, like, anything else. They talk about the gameplay. It was, oh, hey, I got my triple XL katana that I got from this boss, and then I fucking eviscerated him. It was super easy, but then I got my ass mulched by a deer bear. And someone's like, oh my god, you got killed by the deer bear? What are you, a fucking idiot? I just used my gigantic fuck-off sword. I feel like you can kind of talk about the older God of War games, like, hey, how good did you do? Hey, I did my big thing. You know, like, hey, I got a big combo. I did really well at this game. What did you use here? Like, it is, it's not maybe the perfect example, but it's kind of like one of those things. As sort of like Pillars of Eternity, I have Pillars of Eternity. I should play it on stream. You know, that's what we should do. We should play through the entirety of Pillars of Eternity together. I could understand people who liked it. I like some of the ideas of the game. I've stolen a few of them. This is the beautiful thing, Ironside. It'll be me schizo talking over it. There were interesting ideas. I never finished PoE. I just didn't get too far into it even. Pillars of Eternity 2, from what I've been able to gather, has just been cursed meat almost. Like, everything connected to Pillars of Eternity 2 was just like kind of a shit show. It's too a bad game. Tyranny? I don't actually own Tyranny. I've heard Tyranny is either really good or really bad. Like, that's the funny thing. Like, I never hear anything about it. It's great. There's a few games I've debated on. Nothing matters in Tyranny. Nothing matters. Maybe the real red pill were the friends we made along the way. I like the setting of Tyranny. I think the setting of Tyranny is really cool. I'm actually gonna, you know what? I will open up my Steam right now. What fun, exciting games. Technically, I can play Yomi Hustle finally, because if somebody, I bought Yomi Hustle out of pure obligation. I could play Fallout New Vegas and have it crash every 5 minutes. That'll be fun. What's the worst setting you've ever seen, period? In like a video game? Like pure like, or like tabletop games, what? Like in absolute total. Like the setting I like genuinely hated the most. God, I can't even remember it. It was what was that fucking like game? Like, I just hated it because it was just so like it was such a nothing burger setting. Like that, it was such a nothing burger setting. That was the thing, and I think the problem was like the game itself wasn't very good. I didn't have fun with the game, and it kind of just got worse going on. Like, worse consistency. I would say that, like, game that I actually will play, but I absolutely despise the lore of. I will that's a pretty easy thing to actually talk about. That's Paladins. The extensive Paladins lore. That game is schizophrenic and has no lore consistency, fun fact. I should know. I went over the entire thing multiple times. Have any of you seen my Paladins my Paladins lore doc before? I think I've showed at least one or two people my Paladins lore doc. Oh, they've never seen the Paladins lore doc. Okay, let's open up the Paladins lore document. I wrote this for Palg, mind you. Yeah, Paladins General back on fucking VG. It is 53 pages, mind you. To give you an idea, I go through every single aspect of a Paladin's lore, of various characters, of various connections, of various things. I put my own comments on things to try to get like more context. You have characters like Kasumi who legitimately have no purpose. Some characters just aren't mentioned ever again. The entirety of the Ico Magistrate issues going on. Yeah, when I say this is complete schizophrenia, I'm not lying. This is insanity. I am the only person who has ever done this, and this is all this like kind of bullshit stuff. Why did you do this? Well, there's a good reason for this. There's a good reason. Paladins. Paladins is a game. Let's just talk about we need to talk about Paladins real fast. This is Paladins. You might think about like, wow, this looks like really shitty Overwatch, and the answer was yes, it is really shitty Overwatch. It kind of came out right during the, kind of when Overwatch was getting popular and stuff like that. So it was kind of, it's not a very good game. It's more like a MOBA at some points than like a traditional like hero shooter. I played a shit ton of it because it was one of the very few games my friends could all play because it's free. And that's very valuable when you are stupid and you don't have money. So you just play free to play games. But the interesting thing with Paladins is there are two lores. Yes, you may be wondering, Notepad, what the fuck do you mean that there are two lores? Well, interestingly enough, there is old lore and then new lore. Old lore has shit like, you see the character down there with his gun, he shot God and got cursed for it. New lore, not a thing anymore. There is... It was such a schizophrenic setting because there were so much things. The thing is, there were so many like different competing things because what happened was, and this was like a known fact, they were throwing shit at the wall trying to figure out like what was popular. They legitimately didn't know. Like for a while it was like everything was Magitech, but then they shifted away to just everything is just purely fantasy. Like, one character has a mech. Like, I'm not fucking with you when I say a character has a mech. That's Ruckus. And we'll, like, this is Ruckus. Ruckus, this is his old skin. Like, this is a fantasy game, mind you. That's his old fucking skin, is you just had a goddamn mech suit. But, here's the secret. The mech suit was, in the old lore, he legitimately found a magic elf sword in a cave, melted it down, and melted his own mech suit. That was the literal old lore. The new lore, he found like a mind gem, and that's how that's how it works now. Don't question it, it just works. One of the more amusing things, now we're not grinding out any abilities right now, I'm talking about Paladin's lore, is at a certain point, they shifted everything over to new lore. And new lore, where they tried to like harmonize everything, but they also decided to put out lore cinematics. Oh boy, the lore cinematics. Yeah, Paladin's lore is, they brought out this entire thing because like, oh, well, there's the good guys and the bad guys. You have the magistrate who are evil. The magistrate is evil. And they are, the magistrate doesn't like the paladins who are good guys. They're the rebels who want to save the day. Now, you may be wondering, Notepad, what are they fighting over? There has to be something. Is the magistrate, tyranny? Are they evil? Are they, using the power of Grayskull to, fucking kill kittens or something? No, they want to stop the use of crystals. crystals are a very important factor in the paladin setting, because you want to know what crystals do? Crystals are magic cocaine. They are also magic thermite. They are also magic explosive materials. Crystals pretty much are the settings crystals allow the construction of firearms. Because yeah, people have guns in this setting. You gotta remember that, like, one character has legitimately just an assault rifle. He runs around and shoots you with an assault rifle powered by crystals. The magistrate, the bad guys, were like, hey, we should restrict the use of crystals. The good guys were like, no, everyone deserves crystals. And in the very first fucking cinematic, you see a fucking bomb go off because somebody was fucking around with crystals. And a bunch of people died. It's like, okay, I'm not rooting for the resistance really at all. Yeah. The lore just gets worse from there. It gets worse from there. One of the more amusing aspects about Paladin's lore is almost every fantasy race has been removed. There are very few actual, like, fantasy races anymore. It is all demons, the nightmare creatures, or angels or humans. There was no planning. It's a known fact of life. There was no planning. To the point where it took them like 3-4 years to put out a map. And it wasn't a good map. Yeah, it was world building by retcon. It wasn't even world building by retcon. They're all still there. They just don't know what to do with it, so they just stopped. They just stopped caring. Because you get things like Grok. Like, and this is the perpetual issue, the perpetual problem child, and anytime someone talks about it, I will bring it up. This is Grok. Now, in the original lore, he was an orc who found a legitimately a magic thunder rod that allowed him to become a chief shaman of his tribe, using, and I do not lie, the power of a lightning rod, because he kind of had like this sci-fi bent for it for a while, and it was like, cool, he's like this savage dude who has a lightning, who pretty much found a superconductor strapped to a stick. I'm like, cool, this is neat. Grok has been in the game since about 2016. There have never been another orc. They have never mentioned other orcs. Grok is not in the lore anymore. Like, they never mention him. He's like, no other orcs have been mentioned, or even thought about, or even talked about. You know, the world became post-apocalyptic midway through season 2. Yeah, it went from kind of like, it's cartoon, don't think about it, to like, it's post-apocalyptic, and then things just kind of got weird. Adventure Time was fun. I enjoyed watching Adventure. Honestly, that is the best answer people have right now, McDrusel. That is the best answer. I even outright say it in the lore document, being like, Grok legitimately is a loose hanging thread that nobody knows what to do with. Mostly because they keep putting in like weird Chinese femboys, because that's what pays the bills. Honestly, like, if you've ever seen something being like, oh man, this character is just put in here for fan service, that is 95% of Paladins. You didn't watch the Gunter arc. What the fuck do you mean by the Gunter arc? I don't like where this is going. I know Thunderbrush quit. That was like one of the funny things too. Recently, Thunderbrush quit. If any of you know anything about Paladins, he was like one of the main lore people. And mind you, he was one of the main lore people as well. Oh, Gunter from Adventure Time? Yeah, okay. Thunderbrush, like, main lore people, main concept artist, main everything, left. He actually quit the company. He's no longer working on Paladins, and everyone's like, man, Hopefully things get better, because he was the one who pushed for people like Kasumi. Kasumi is literally just a Japanese ghost. There's no explanation to why she's here. She's just a Japanese ghost. Why? Look at the lolly. Everybody, look at her. Look at the lolly. Look at her. Everybody, everyone do the face. Do the face right now. Sob. Sob, damn you. Then we had Ray for a while. Ray, everybody loved Ray. Played Ray for a while. Ray, I don't like playing Ray, but I like looking at Ray because Ray's got a great fucking design, and she's fighting for the right team. Yeah. Yeah, welcome to welcome to the power of Coomerism. Yeah. Coomers will always be the thing that drives the economy, I've learned, of artwork. And anyone who's like, oh man, you know, we don't want Coomers in our things. Oh, we don't want Coomers in our game, being like, no, you do. Coomers pay bills, kids. Remember that. I know what we should play on stream. We should play Genshin Impact. That's what I'll do for April 1st. I'll just play legitimately just 12 hours of Genshin Impact. 12 hours straight. Genshin Impact stream. Credit card open. Ready to go. We're ready to game. Why you hate yourself so much? Because I find it amusing. A girl I knew got the fire husbando dude off a free pull. I genuinely do not know jack shit about Genshin Impact except for porn. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Like, I'm gonna be, you know, true notepad to you. I have never even looked at gameplay for Genshin Impact outside of the hardcore pornography available. Just the absolute most degenerate hardcore pornography of Genshin Impact. That's the only thing I care about. And it's Jover. I mean, I see, again, my neuron activates. I'm like, I understand now. This is why this is popular. There are men involved? Absolutely not. Garbage tier game. We don't need it. And that's my TED Talk, everybody, on why you should play gacha games. What was one of those other gacha games that people talk about a lot? Fucking Genshin Impact. Venti is a man. 0 out of 10. We don't need it then. Get the fuck out of here. I do not need. I am a horrible person. I'm like, no men. If you like men, cool, go for it. All for you. But I don't. Therefore, Genshin Impact is useless. Genshin Impact is useful for one thing and one thing alone. The rampant expansion of hentai. See, this is a beautiful thing. There isn't actually even that much Genshin Impact hentai. That's the problem. Like, that's one of the amusing things. There just legitimately isn't a lot of it. And what it is of like 2 characters. And it's often Mona. Mona, I believe that's one of their names. The witch hat girl. Wears tights and is poor. That is legitimately like one of the few that shows up. During my searches, I did find there's like this weirdly extensive, like, and I mean by extensive, like there's like 3-4 of them that are just like weird. And I'm like, what the fuck? I see the shared Reddit post of a lesbian getting trapped. Oh, no, McDrusel. No. We are not doing this. But yeah, no, that's What was the one? Blue Archive. That's the one. This is the one that I have legitimately no idea about. Like, we're just on, we've just completely neglected the rest of the stream. We're talking about Genshin Impact. Blue Archive. This is the game. I got no idea what the fuck this game is about. I legitimately have no idea. I have actually, like, talked to people. I'm like, alright, what's the lore of Blue Archive? And they usually just send me this image. I'm like, man, that doesn't look like lore. It's like, okay, what's the lore about? And they send me this image. I'm like, that's definitely not the lore. That's definitely not it. Like, I'm struggling not to click on pornography right now. Like, I don't know what is this lore? Is this gameplay? Is this gameplay? Are you gameplay? That's not gameplay. That definitely isn't. Is this? I don't know. I've been mystified by it. I need to learn more about Blue Archive. Like, I don't, yeah, it... Does Blue Archive actually have gameplay? I don't know. That's the funny part. I legitimately don't know. Toho does have gameplay. Toho does have gameplay, and it's called Get My Ass Kicked. Get my shit rocked is what happens, how you play Toho. Toot Hoot is a cult, I've learned. Though I can make more authentic Toot Hoot role-playing games now because of the power of AI. Let's see. What other like gacha games are there? Because there's Blue Archive. There's Nikki, Goddess of Victory. I think Nikki, Goddess of Victory is supposed to be like, isn't this part of like its own like special like world? Or yeah, this is the ass game. This is the ass. This is the free to play ass jiggle game. As you can tell by the riveting gameplay. Yeah, this is what Nikki is all about. I've actually like I thought this was is this Girls Front Line? I don't think it is. Girls Front. No, this has to be like its own thing, right? Yeah, it is its own thing. Or Nikki's are one. Yeah, there we go. It's completely different thing. Yeah. It's only came out like it only came out in November? Huh. This is out for a while. Yeah, yeah, I don't get that one. Girls Front Line has like an extensive fucking lore that people keep trying to tell me about. I'm like, wow, that really is cool. I don't care. You wanna know why I don't care? I don't like any of the girls in Girls Front Line. Only Spaz 12 I like. And even then, she doesn't get anything. I'm like, man, I'm not digging it. Therefore, it's a 0 out of 10 game. I have seen no pornography on it. Therefore, it is the only correct, morally correct answer to say that it's bad. Gacha games are fascinating. I find gachas very interesting because it appeals to such a raw human emotion. And that raw human emotion is coom. Let's see. Oh. I know what that one is. I know what Husamo is. Trust me, I know. I had to do a lot of Googling for the Gai project. The hero, the being a divine being, is a divine being of divine might and power. Divine might and power, and their patrons. And their patrons' power and their patrons' influence flows through them. The hero die is rolled for every check, starting at just a D4. The hero die is starting at just a D4. The hero die enables the hero to push through difficulties and overcome struggles that mortals would find impossible. Short, the hero die makes them a hero. However, there is always a catch. Every hero has a heroic quality and a fatal flaw. The heroic quality is a defining aspect about them, which highlights a powerful influence of their patron. Powerful influence on their patron, on their person, which highlights heroic quality is a defining aspect about them, which highlights a powerful influence of their patron on them. If the heroic quality ever appears to be irrelevant, the hero will roll two of their hero die. And add them together. If the hero's fatal, actually we should do the hero's fatal flaw. However, this is the opposite side of the same coin. This flaw permeates their entire existence. Always hounding them for a chance to destroy them. When a flaw is presented, the hero will roll two hero die. Actually, when a flaw is presented, the hero's hero die instead subtracts from their final result. This does mean that when a fatal flaw and a heroic quality meet, disaster often follows. That's kind of the thing with his, like, how do I, like, the best way to think about it is, like, your heroic quality is something that's good about you, that's really noble, that's really good, that's like, hey, people are my heroic quality is natural magnetism. People are innately more trustworthy to me. They like me immediately, like that immediately sense of, like, yay, everybody likes me. You know, but a fatal flaw might be something more along the idea of crippling obsession. People become obsessed with me. And because people become obsessed with me, things can go wrong. So if it ever comes to a point of natural magnetism and that obsession comes up together, suddenly, you know, I can't ward you off. You know, I'm at a very big disadvantage, you know, and, you know, as you grow in power, it could be like, oh, well, you know, at first it's only, oh, well, I just gotta roll 2d4. This isn't, this isn't too bad. Like, oh, it's only, you know, I only lost 5 from my roll, which could be crippling. But later on, it's going to be, oh, hey, I just lost 10 because I had to roll 2d6. Suffering from success. And if it's only just your fatal flaws, coming to bite you in the ass a little bit, then you're only going to be rolling 1, but it's always should be kind of tied together. It's always tied back to your concept. This also affects you under Verd as well. When a fatal flaw often follows, as the hero is forced to roll 2 of their hero die and subtract the result. Under the guise of Verd, heroic qualities are magnified, and fatal flaws more prominent. Heroes, a hero must understand that they are just as fallible as their parents, just as fallible as their patrons, but may not have the divine protection to ward off their demise. Because again, it's like, what is Achilles? Achilles doesn't die because he died in a fight. Achilles died because he got overconfident in a fight, and he fucking died because someone shot him in his one weak spot. Like, you have one job, Achilles, and it's not to die. And what'd you fucking do? You fucking died. Dumb bull. 4.5. This doesn't like starting hero die. Starting hero die is just going to be 4. Actually, starting hero die D4. We don't need to kind of talk about it. We don't need to spell it out. Actually, what we can do though is an example. Bronislaw Malver. Bronislaw is almost complete. He just needs to calculate his derived statistics. Derive statistics and record his hero die and record his heroic problems. This he has total Ichor. He has, so 10 plus, let me minus stats. So he has Ichor of, hello, tiny penis man, how are you? Let's see, 10 plus 4 plus 8 plus 10. So that's 20. So he has 32 out of 32 Ichor. Actually, no, he has 30 out of 30 because it's not soul, it's Bill. He's 30 out of 30 Ichor. He has Drive, which is Drive 2014 of Soul, so he's 15. He's got 19 out of 19 drives. But he invested hard into his soul because that's what he wants to be. As he has her hero die is D4. His heroic quality. Magnet. Natural magnetism. What would be fatal attractions. There we go. So it's kind of like the idea of like fatal attractions. Like he is clearly like, oh no, people are going to become obsessed with me. And Bronislav's golden child. Bronislaw maybe a Bronislaw maybe a golden child. Maybe a golden child. Maybe a golden child, but his natural charm often has others become obsessed with him, which he finds difficult to not return their he finds difficult to not return their advances. He may be young, but he is quickly gaining the eye of many desperate individuals who want to get closer, or injure, or stab his father. Kind of like the idea of like, yeah, you have this natural magnetism. People naturally like being around you. They also want to kill you. Like, it's like, oh no. He's got 19 drive. That means, like, effectively, the best way to think about drive is he can spend it on his own abilities, but he can also spend it on, effectively, a plus 19. If he wants to burn 19 points on a single check, he totally can. He can spend it 1-to-1 to just, hey, I need to hit. I have 5. Yeah, I missed you by 3. I'm going to spend 3 of my drive to kick it over a little bit so I get to beat the shit out of you just a little bit easier. So it's like, oh, cool, this is awful. Like, I'm being, oh no, I am in danger. Okay, so what we need to do is this. So I'm going to put you down here, actually. I don't know what to do this. We'll call it the domains of power. I don't know how I want to do this yet, but let's just do one. Let's just do one idea, okay? Like we'll just write out one, just to give everybody a good idea, good baseline for how we want to do it. We'll use fire for example. We'll use fire for example. The hero feels the heat of the world in their palms and in their body. Unleashing torrents of flame that can only be quelled by expending unleashing torrents of flame at their fingertips, or boiling inside their mind, seeking their inheritance. The hero is completely immune to natural fire. The hero is completely immune to natural fire, allowing them to even the most intense heat does little to affect them. divine heat or divine flames still may scar them, but rarely kill them. So the inheritance is going to be your freebie. Like, if you have this domain, you get the inheritance. Which then we're going to do, like, blazing. So it's like, you then get a few of these tags right off the bat. So one would be, like, blazing. The hero's attack is... permeating through... the hero's attack is unnatural fire permeating through it. When an enemy is struck by this attack, they will take they will be affected by the burning condition. For their hero die in rounds. And then we're going to do what would be So yeah, this would be like a basic idea more than anything. So it's like, okay, what can I apply blazing to? I can apply blazing to down here a little bit. I don't have all the ideas here. This is kind of like one of those things I'm like, fuck. I can apply blazing to my blast attack. If I apply blazing to my blast attack, it now can do that. Hey, I have it to my aim true. I can do that. I have it to my power strike. I'm going to inflict blazing on people a lot easier. That's kind of the entire idea. Tufty is raiding with a party of 1. What did I miss? I just beat Dark Souls. You beat Dark Souls? Really, Tufty? I don't think you actually beat Dark Souls. I don't see the DDR pad out. I don't see the Donkey Kong Congo bongos out going there. Did you really beat Dark Souls then? See, ever since the time you see, I've seen somebody beat. Anytime it was that moment I saw someone beat, good old, anytime, the first time I saw that, somebody beat Dark Souls with a DDR pad, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I am just not a gamer anymore. Maybe I'm just not a real gamer. And then when I immediately saw somebody like, oh, I beat it with Donkey Kong bongos, I'm like, all right, you know what? Maybe this gamer thing isn't for me anymore. Now you get to play Dark Souls 2! The one everybody likes or completely hates. But can they beat Dark Souls with retinal tracking? I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's tried. Honest to God, would not be surprised if somebody has tried at least once to be like, it's time for Donkey Kong bongo hours, but also I have to fucking do it with like a retinal, like with retinal tracking or some stupid shit like that. Because that's how it goes. Okay, I'm gonna call it there. When, yeah, Tufty shows up. I'm leaving now. Pretty much what I need to do now. This is going to be next week. This is how we're going to do things going forward. I'm going to write it out here. So, Monday. Actually, no. Tuesday, because next week's going to be a little bit weird. Tuesday, we are going to pretty much do my goals. Do conflict is power through misery. I want to get adventuring done through the weekend. That's my goal, is to get it done over the weekend. I know what I need to write in there. It's just writing it, and it's annoying. So that's the goal there. I want to get the conflict phase done. I want to get all of that shit done. Wednesday, we are going to power through domain writing. this might be the time we rewrite the powers. That is a big factor of this. We might just have to rewrite the entirety of the power system. But that's kind of the goal there more than anything. And then on Friday, next Friday, episode 6 of this series, this might be an episode 7, possibly even 8, depending on the situation. Though I'm aiming for next week. I'm aiming for a maximum of 7. First stream of this one a little bit slow, so it happens. But yeah, power through misery, domain writing, which is just going to be powering through all the domains. That's going to be the plan. Friday is going to be more like the quote GM section. That's kind of going to be my goal there. The goal mostly is how to run this game, how to play this game, how to make it work, and kind of like how enemies, and shit like that. That's the kind of the goal. If we can get it done by next week, awesome. Poggers. We're in the money. We are, as they say in the hood, gaming. If not, yeah, I'm feeling relatively good. Like the adventuring in Aether Space and True World, just kind of give you an idea what that's going to be. That's going to be like, here's how to make checks. Here's how to, here's some common checks to kind of do things with. Here's how things kind of work a lot more, because it's kind of a weird way of doing things. And it's like, I've already explained it to you up above, but let's talk about it a little bit more because I feel that's appropriate. The domains are going to be the hard part, though. That's going to be the hump. I'm going to tell everybody that right now. That's the hump. If we can get it done, awesome. If we can't, shit happens. Generally speaking, though, if we really do get delayed and domain writing, we can't finish domain writing, we don't finish conflicts up, we don't finish something like that up, it will most likely be a Sunday night stream. That'll be my guess. It'll be a Sunday night stream. Or we will do an extended Monday stream. We will get it done. My goal is, generally speaking, I want to get this done by the 17th. Because if we get this done by the 17th, we can then move on to Eagles and Rifles for the end of February. That's kind of my goal there. So to kind of give everyone an idea, tomorrow we're going to go over GDG games. Just to give everyone an idea, it's going to be a normal time as usual Saturday cases, which is noon EST. We're going through the GDG games. Probably is going to be a little bit longer than normal because we're going to literally go over a bunch of games. And that's kind of the fun part. And I'm going in blind. No idea what's going on. But that's half the fun of it. So I'm going to call it there. Godspeed. Good luck. Is the eagle in the attic with a semi-automatic? Pain. I'm gonna call it there. Godspeed. Good luck. I believe everybody can do this, and we're all gonna make it.